Welcome to another installment of The Inspired Teacher. I've been getting inquiries about whether I'm going to finish with the 8 Yin Fu poems of Bagua, and the short answer is yes, and the long answer is today's post. So before I go on and start giving instruction for poems 5, 6, 7, and 8, I just want to do a very short review of 1 through 4, give you an idea how to do that as a form, as a simple form, and then I'd like to do just a small discussion of what is the difference between mother poems, linking poems, swimming body, and swimming dragon. So first thing first, I'm going to do the first 4 poems as if like I'm doing a form or a demonstration. You know, for a demonstration, you just want to do 1 of each palm change. You don't want to do 8 of each unless your audience is completely filled with Bagua practitioners. Most people just want to get a taste or a flavor for what the palms are like. Also, when you're limited in time, and I can just, I just gotta kind of do a down and dirty Bagua practice. I'm just gonna go through the palms, 1 of each. And that's going to keep me. It's going to keep me really on my toes, so to speak, about at the end of each palm if I've got to change the guard, for the various palms. So the first 4 is pretty easy because it's the same guard for 1, 2, and 4, and then I just have to change to the heavenly horse for number 3. So this is how I would do the first 4 as a form. So you can see that I don't even think that took a minute. So a lot of times, if I'm pressed for time, I'll just do that simple, 1 change each. In the better world, a right and left change each. And when you've got a luxury of time, which I usually do, then I usually do 8 of each. So one more time, I'm going to do the first 4. Going to get the intro. Going to do 8 steps. And then I don't have to change the guard. It's still the wild goose guard for the second palm. Now I got to change the guard for the third. I'm going to change to the heavenly horse. And then I'm going to change back again to the wild goose for the 4th palm. What I can do is I can go to the fifth palm guard, which is the phoenix spreads its wings. I've been fortunate. I've had 7 Bagua teachers, and I've also had my main Taiji teacher, Master Titi Liang. I've had him also to bounce Bagua ideas and concepts off of, and also to get some feedback. He never taught Bagua, but he learned a bunch of Bagua and had some really useful insights while I was learning and training. So, as I studied with different teachers, there were different forms, different sets of 8 palm changes or so. The first one I ever learned was called the 8 inner palms. It's also called the 8 mother palms, the 8 qigong palms. Some people call it the 8 animals palms. And that's a foundational form where you've got all these basic movements, one by one, holding them for development and for the various guards. Another form I learned was called the 8 linking palms. And that's more like what you see as Bagua for self-defense. A lot more striking, and you start to see a lot of stances and some combinations. And then I learned 2 different forms. One was called swimming body, another one was called swimming dragon. And when I learned the swimming dragon, I actually learned a bunch of ways to do just that one form. The swimming body or swimming dragon was literally like freestyle. It was like, trying to spontaneously let your body and your mind create the Bagua. So some teachers taught the mother palms, the linking palms, and the swimming body palms. They taught those as separate forms, to give you an idea. But 2 of my teachers literally would teach a single form, a set of 8 palms, but then have 3 ways to do it. Mother palm way, linking palm way, and swimming dragon way. So the mother palm way was where everything was cut and dried, and it had all the stances and all the techniques. You could see each technique clearly. So say number 3. You would see all the stance work clearly. Taming tiger stance, bow stance, character 8 stance, chicken stance, taming tiger stance, bow stance, character 8 stance, character 8 stance. So you could see everything was cut and dried. In the linking, there's 2 ways to do it. One is to convert some of your stances into steps. So at some point, instead of posturing, posing, or holding a stance, I'm just going to do a step. Another way to do the linking palms is to convert every stance into a step. So what's going to happen is really going to smooth that. It's going to smooth your postures out. So that's what happened in number 3. So all the stances now became stepping. And that links them together. The swimming dragon is its own form. I'm going to do an instructional video on that next year. But swimming body, swimming dragon was like your improv. So it's hard to catalog it because you're going to create it at any time. So if I'm doing the 3rd palm, then I might want to switch into number 5. Or if I'm I'm just kind of creating as I go. Just kind of like, feeling it, or I don't know, see a hand there. You see a hand there and you get it out of the way. It's just kind of like your jazz improv. It's like, take a solo, guys. You know, Yi Chuan, Yi can mean imagination, Chuan is fist. This is like Yi Zhang, like imagination palm. And it sounds easy, but it's actually really hard to do and stay original and stay creative. Usually you kind of fall into a rut and you'll do the same thing over and over again. But what you can simply do is take one of the palm changes or two of the palm changes and morph them together. I mean, another thing to do is as you're doing your postures on the circle, you can also make them go on the figure eight. So there's so many ideas for the improv, but that is the swimming body or the swimming dragon. Sometimes, you know, with the invention of movies and cameras, you could take a picture of a master who was improvising. You could learn that. Now that's a form. You know, it's a form based on improvisation. But one idea in Bagua is it's the art of change. You want to be free and change, and you want to have enough movement and freedom in your body that you can create your own. Like every single day you create your own swimming body or swimming dragon form. So that's just a short explanation. When we talk about application, that makes a big difference too. Mother palm versus linking palm versus the swimming dragon. I hope that helps. Next month I will have the fifth palm and its applications for you, and I will continue till we're done with till you have all 8 Yin Fu palm changes. Till then, practice, improv, walk around in circles, and if your neighbors think you're crazy, you're doing it right.